So Bryan and I had an unexpected, spontaneous session together. We were working on another project and an opportunity to get down to a root to a challenge that he had been facing for a while, but it had just been kind of hidden under layers, like layers can be. So I want to invite you to join me with this debrief with Bryan right after he had the major shift. It was so potent and impactful in his life that we wanted to capture it. So unlike some of our other videos and things, we've got a teaching topic and we're working through a sequence and so on. This is more raw. It's at the moment. So I'm just welcoming you to join a post-healing conversation. And I hope that it helps you and supports you in identifying what possibly could be keeping you stuck. They're usually in a place, these roots that we go after are usually in a place that we don't know to look, and we don't know that we can look there. They kind of get disguised, like I mentioned. So enjoy this conversation. And if it brings up questions for you, just reach out to me at janell@janellray.com, and that's my email, and we can have a conversation. Well, there were some pieces that came out that I felt were really, really key. And one of those pieces was that you met people, coaches that you'd signed up, programs that you'd signed up for, that you felt something in them that reminded you of experiences with other people, and those were triggers. You saw something in them, and what did it bring into your person? Like, what was the feeling?
It gave the feeling that I don't trust them, that there's more going on behind the scenes, that there's something going on where, like when I said before on the trade, they're getting more out of this than I am, that everything isn't what it appears. So for instance,
you're going to get used, you're going to get
taken advantage
of. And these were feelings that had been what you felt back when you'd been with these people that had wronged you in the past. Yeah. You had the experiences where this is not good for you. And these other coaches had an element that when you felt it, it pushed that button for you, and all the old emotion came flooding forward, and that would sabotage forward motion for you, right?
Yeah, because what I didn't realize was, if I'm looking at a person, and it could be their mannerism, it could be their energy, it could be the way they talk. I don't know. There's something going on there, and I don't really understand it at a conscious level, but there's something energetically that they are sending out that signal, and I'm receiving it. And it just feels a little off. And what happened is, I have a stack of all these emotions, a stack of all these experiences, a stack of all these feelings, and then I just get hit. I get hit with that, and I'm like, whoa, be very careful here. This is dangerous. This is like, I can't think of the right word right now. Some shenanigans going on, something, you're being hoodwinked or something, just all that kind of stuff would pop in my head. And I didn't know why. It wasn't logical, because what they were saying wasn't, they weren't saying anything like that. But I got really strong feelings that, okay, this is a bunch of BS. Something ain't right. Get out of here. Stop. This is dangerous. Even though when I look back, some of those things were actually very good.
There's opportunity here, and I want to talk about it. So when we hit these, and we all do at some point or points in our life, because if we're going to grow, we're going to hit these. Otherwise, we can't grow, because guidance will allow us to experience this, to be put into situations, to meet people, to along our journey that will push these buttons, and so that we can see what was in that energy that's housed in that person or persons or that system, and it pushed our button, and it's a trigger. And that trigger emotion hits us like a force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because it's everything, and all the emotion within that experience hits us all at once. So it's huge. It's huge. So it's okay. But it's really cool to look and go, thank you, guidance, that you put these people in my path that pushed my button because you just showed me where the trigger was. You just showed me what's ready to be seen and what's ready to heal. Then the other cool thing about that is that it's also showing Bryan where his gifts are. His gift to see people and the energy that's in them. So once the trigger is resolved and that energy is shifted into love energy, so there's some steps that we walk through to do that, then his gift is free to be. So as he's navigating with people, he now has the beginning awareness of, I see this type of energy. I see the energy. He has discernment and the gift of discernment, which when you're navigating forward and you want to build something like Bryan wants to do, he's building a business, he's putting together this incredible team and working forward, discernment is key. So now that the trigger is resolved and the gift is understood, this space, guidance took him to bring him to this day, to have one, healing, two, a new level of awareness of who he is authentically at your most authentic space.
Yeah, and how I'm feeling about it is, if you were given a magnificent compass that worked and was just amazing, but you didn't understand the compass, you didn't understand how it worked, and you look at this compass as, oh, this is north, I'm supposed to go north, but the compass was something different. It would just cause this confusion. And so I feel like these signals I was getting, I didn't understand them.
Okay.
And now that I do understand them, I can kind of be able to process it and say, what's the message here? What is this trying to show me? Is there something that needs to heal? Is there something I need to act on? Rather than just being like, whoa, 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 danger, get out of here. Because even if you're on the right path, but you stop. I mean, there's some quote that's like, even if you're on the right train track, but you stop, eventually you're going to get squashed, right? So it's like, you can be on the right path, but every time you stop, you are stopping your momentum, you're stopping your progress. And then it takes so much energy, so much effort to get going again. And then you get going again, and then something else stops you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So what I realized is, you can be on the right track. You can be doing what you're supposed to be doing. But if you're having these momentum blocks, these momentum stopping points, then you're taking a lot of energy, a lot of effort to get going again. And if you could just keep that train going or keep your momentum going, it's much easier to make massive progress, to cover lots of distance, to get to your destination. But if you're constantly stopping yourself, it's just sabotage.
It's total sabotage. And then whatever reel your brain used to be on, whatever thought loop is there, the self-doubt, the self-hate, whatever that pattern is, has its moment to shine at that moment. So that's the key in working with me. My gifts allow me to see my energy, and the channel energy I channel sets up a container that allows individuals to see what they're needing to see at that moment. What do you need? It's not what I think you should see. It's what does your guidance want you to see at that moment. So having that translator, so we can take years and years and years to figure that out on our own, or we can work with me and figure it out. Taking that step and saying, okay, I want to figure this out. I don't want to spend years and years on the same old, and at thousands and thousands of dollars spent. And that's real. So taking that step to get clarity and get the shift and get the understanding that this heal, and get the understanding this is actually one of your gifts in motion. And you've got this massive discernment. Who doesn't want discernment in the world of growing a business, right? That's like a seriously cool tool.
But what I think that was happening was, I was using this against me, because every time I'd stop, then I would look at, in this analogy, other trains going, and I'd be like, man, I'm not making a lot of progress. Like, what is going on? What's wrong with me? Why is this such a hard thing? So I'd go on kind of a thing that I didn't realize I was doing, but every time I stop, I'm not just stopping, but now I'm kind of bashing myself a little bit.
Mm.
And then to get going again, it takes even more because I've got to overcome the self-defeating bashing I've done, the wondering like, why is this taking so long? What's so hard about this? And then I kind of let's get going here. And so I think it's not just the stopping, there's some other elements that kind of overlay in that. And when you can just remove all that.
Yeah, get down to the why it exists. It was the energy actually that was stopping you.
Mhm.
And the brain was trying to make sense of any of it. And it had all of its old patterns that it was working with. But when you clear the energy, all the other pieces just make more sense. You get clarity, don't you? You just get, oh, I get it now. And then all the coping skills to get through that you just described, we just don't need them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us on a very spontaneous but real in the moment conversation around a massive shift that took place here in my office. And we just love sharing these with you so that when they resonate with you, you can see, that's what I need. So we look forward to chatting with you at Janell@janellray.com. That's my email. Reach out and we would love to see you and have a conversation with you.